question, Baffy, coming into this. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our... Oh, my God. We have our Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player, the Red Terran himself, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our semis. Let's go. Let us go. Vanya should change his name to Skillis, and Skillis should change his name to Nikita. Yeah, Skillis, he's one of those, for whatever reason, he's one of the players that, like, at least as a caster, I'm used to calling him by his name. That's the case with a couple of players, at least in my experience, right? Like, there's Nikita, there's Juanito. Who else am I thinking of? Migs, true, there's Migs as well. Let's go. Jaime, yeah, Jaime is another one, true. Jaime Arturo Duran Silencio. Also, oh God, have I forgotten it? Caviar Napoleon Marquis está acampado. Yeah, I got it. Caviar, true. Ender as well. There's a couple of players like that. I know that some of the European casters, they say Yona instead of Cero. True. I'm not there. Eric Kappa. That doesn't. I don't think that counts. I don't think that counts, Matty. But I see what you're getting at. True. Rob. Yeah. True. We know Rob is Rob because he is Rob. Homemade Rob. But now though, we do have our initial openers. It is going to be an economic opener, a standard opener out of MaxPax, just Gate, Cyber, Expand. Meanwhile, back across the map, we do have a Rax Expand out of Clem, economic start out of our Terran player. Ooh, into a second Rax. Hello, much more aggressive follow-up here out of Clem. He will delay his starport, going for a second Rax. This looks like an early sim timing. So what you would traditionally see in a TvP here is early tech lab into tank production, into a bio setup, or into an early tank setup, into drop play. But here we have a big delay on the starport, so there's no drops. There's no early drops. Instead, we're building up and prioritizing marine and just army production here instead. There we go. We have the Cyclone first. Initial Cyclone. Now the question becomes, do we throw down a third Rax before the starport? If we see a third Rax, it's a 2-base all-in. It's a 2-base all-in if we throw down a third Rax. Otherwise, if it's a starport, it's just a variation of 2-on-1. So we're waiting for that next building. Oh, starport. Okay. So he's going for the starport. So we're going for like a pseudo 2-on-1 here, building up bio, going for drop play, of course. We have the tech lab on the way for a very early stim. So really early stim timing here by Clem, earlier than normal. And it's on MaxPax to figure out what's going on. Again, typically the Terran player is at times a little bit more passive. They're active with drops, but their main pushes are typically a little bit later. So MaxPax, he needs to confirm this to figure out what's going on. To figure out how safe he can be, what he can get away with, denying warp-ins or skipping warp-ins. But now throws down a safety shield battery. Robo before expand. Okay. So 3-gate blink into Robo, followed by the third base. So very safe play here by MaxPax. Very safe. Cyclone is revealed. Stim is on the way, building up a tank as well. And Clem is getting ready for a very early timing here with Stim, with potentially 2 tanks and a handful of medevacs. And MaxPax is still in the dark. He's still in the dark. He's blindly playing safe, that is true, and he has potential for like an early immortal. Honestly, if MaxPax saw what was happening, he most likely would make an immortal early on. But right now, there's no sign, right? There's no tell. There's no reason to make an immortal. At this level of play, you want to be as efficient as possible. MaxPax is relying on the Observer. Observer is moving in. Big Gabe. Big Gabe is another one. Big Gabe is a big one, no pun intended, because it's so awkward saying Hero Marine so often. Oh, as the Observer's gonna be sniped. No, he snipes the Observer. Massive pickoff, but he saw the army. And like seeing this large of an army already is a tell. So at least it's all the army. Yep, he's moving out. He's moving out to engage, to slow down the force, slow down the push. MaxPax in position. Like, as a caster, it is so tedious. I mean, you've heard me cast Gabe before, especially like maybe like 2-3 years ago, like constantly saying Hero Marine, it's a mouthful. It's like saying Gabe is so much easier when casting Hero Marine. MaxPax slowly picking away at the Marines, not bad. Picks off how many? So far, 8. 8 Marines have gone down, gets a 9th. Gets a 9th Marine, and by the time Clem gets across the map, I mean, he doesn't really have much support anymore. Sure, he has stim, and he does stim into the natural, but the tanks are more exposed. Yeah, the Immortal has arrived, did get to save the Immortal in time. And MaxPax, he should have enough here. Like, these tanks, they're so vulnerable. Gateway's gonna go down. MaxPax, he pulls a trigger. He dives in, goes for the dive, he gets one. Takes out one tank. Oh, doesn't quite get the other. Oh, he gets punished. Oh my god. He gets punished by the reinforcements. Oh, and he will lose everything. He'll lose almost every single Stalker. What escapes? Not a single one. Every Stalker goes down. The tank gets cleaned up by the Immortal. But there's more that came from. There's more that came from. Clem going for a drop. MaxPax losing another Stalker. Expensive losses from MaxPax. That's 12 Stalkers going down. And for what? For a couple of Marines. They kill the tanks at least. But those were some brutal losses. As Clem, he's still rallying. He's still just rallying across the map. Oh, dropping into the main. Drop is deflected. Medevac does barely escape. Does get away. The Immortal's exposed. Doesn't get it though. Nice force fields. Very nice force fields. Despite that, the Immortal still goes down. The Marauders do punish. Diego, Sue? Sure. Did you say Diego? And it looks like MaxPax is being broken. He lost both Immortals. Barely has any Stalkers remaining. Widowmines to do reposition. Oh no! Oh, catching a Stalker. Yeah, and with the rally, GG gets called. Clem, he overwhelms, and Clem will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Does take a lead in the series. I think there's people discussing names in the chat. Major was in Brood War, if I recall correctly. Special was SE2. No, Special is recent SE2. For the majority of SE2, Juanito was Major. Like for Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, and he renamed to Special. Sorry, I say Wings of Liberty. He went through a lot of names in Wings of Liberty. But he was Major in Heart of the Swarm, and he was Major for beginning of Legacy as well. Special is more recent. More recent. I know it took me a long time to start calling him Special because he was Major for so long. And back in the day, I was a big Root fanboy. I followed a lot of the Root gaming players, so followed a lot of Major back in the day. He was on Root like twice, right? Like he joined and left and joined again. Major, not the most consistent player back in the day. Or Juanito. But there we go. Jumping into game 2. When it comes to that first game, again, just hyper aggression out of Clem. We did take note of it when it came to the build of choice, going for that second Rax before the starport. If you remember, it took a long time for MaxPax to figure out what was going on. MaxPax did successfully slow down the push, but the moment that MaxPax lost all his momentum was when he went for the dive. When he dove on those tanks with his Blink Stalkers, remember, he lost 12 Stalkers. He lost 12 Stalkers! For 2 tanks, that was not worth it. That was not worth it. That was the moment that Clem did overwhelm the army and did snowball out of control. And now we're jumping into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have our Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran himself representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. As Clem does lead the series at 1-0. And we are settling it. They continued to use Major for a while after that. Yeah, if you remember, he had an interview. I think he had an interview for WCS. Or was it a signature series? But Juanito, he had an interview where he explained that the reason why he name changed was like he wanted like a fresh start, like in a way, like he wanted to like reinvent himself and dedicate a little bit more to the game. At the time, Juanito was notorious for missing tournaments, for being very unreliable when it comes to going to events and going to tournaments as well. He did have that reputation, 100%, for yeah, just in a nice way, just not being a very reliable player for tournaments, for events in general, and for a lot of things that were happening at the time. But in the end, it did want to reinvent himself in a way, and I think he was quite successful in doing so. That was also before he got swole. Of course, in more recent years did hit the gym, looking good. But now though, we're selling into game 2, selling into our second game. Once again, economic opener. We have a Rax expand, and also welcome one and all to Killer's Mile, a map made by Killer Smile. This is a very trendy map by Terran players. The reason for this, short rush distance by ground and very exposed third. The third base, unlike on other maps, there's no ramp. There's no ramp coming into to defend the third base. Likewise, a very wide entrance here at the third as well. So we have seen many a Protoss attempt and fail to defend at this third location. So we've seen a lot of Terran players enjoy Killer's Mile. We'll see if MaxPax can be more successful here, assuming that Clem does go for another aggressive build. We're waiting for that third building, and there it is, this time a much more standard 1-1-1. Much more standard 1-1-1 here. He apparently started using the name special in the Wikipedia mid-2017. Yes, it was, in my recollection, which is what I said previously, was into Legacy of the Void. So Legacy was 2016, 2017 makes sense. 2017 lines up in my mind with when he name changed the special. For now, we do have our Twilight Council Blink-based opener out of MaxPax. Does throw down another gateway, so a 3-gate Blink into a Robo. This is the same build. Same build from MaxPax 2 games in a row. Very, very safe. Despite how safe it was, I mean, we still saw MaxPax be toppled over in that last game, but that came down to the unit control, that came down to the micro, of course, the engagements, and the fight that we saw outside of the third base, or in between the third and the natural. So it is going to be a safe opener here, but we'll see if MaxPax can keep up with what Clem is up to. As a reminder, this is a much more standard opener, going for the initial drop. It's going to be a mine drop opener and just calming things down. And remember, last game, because of the 2-on-1, we saw Clem rush into stim. Here, there's no rush into stim. The tech lab is going to be later here. We have earlier tank production. This is a much more standard setup here for TvP, with more defensive bio tank, with some mine harass. So MaxPax is going to be a lot more comfortable. He's going to be a lot more comfortable here as he does move out. He takes his third base as he pushes with his main army. Mine shot up. Is going to be retargeting, denying a lot of mining time here at the natural. Does go off, avoids the shots. Meanwhile, again, 3-gate Blink. Stalkers have arrived, and we'll see what MaxPax can get done, as there is a lot of space here behind the mineral line. True. A lot of space here at the natural. And with that, SCV is going to be going down. Clem, he is able to punish this though. Bearing in mind, the space is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, yes, it means that there's more room for Stalkers to be out of range of the tank. That is true. At the same time, it's also more room for Marines to punish the prison. As it's going to be 5 SCVs going down. Meanwhile, one Widowmine gets saved. Oh no! Widowmine is not going to be saved here as Boost is on cooldown and the medevac is going to be hunted down. Whew. Nice cleanup there by MaxPax. Does clean up. Behind this, more tanks, more Marines are amassing, and Clem will eventually break out of this contain and get his third base and eventually gain map control. Until then, there is a timing, of course. Basically, Clem won't move out until Stim finishes. And Stim, it only just really began. Stim is still in the way. So without Stim, Clem is contained. And again, this is like the more standard dynamic of TvP, is the Terran player contained on 2 bases, and the Protoss trying to poke in and get a couple of SCVs, get a tank here or there, get a depot here and there, and fully expand and fully saturate the third. So this is a much more comfortable game for MaxPax. As he gets another 4 SCVs, very nice damage, gets another 4 SCV kills. I believe that's 9 workers in total. Here comes the move out. Clem pushing without Stim. Bold move. So he does break out. And we should soon be seeing a 3rd TC. We should be seeing a command center momentarily. If not, Clem could pull the boys and just commit to a 2-base all-in, but I don't think we're quite set up for that. If that was true, we'd see more Vaxes. We'd see like 2 more Vaxes instead. So I'm not really leaning towards an all-in. Oh. He does on siege, and yep, there it is, 3rd CC. 3rd CC is on the way. So he is expanding. Stim is done. You can see him catch some stalkers. As he moves out, Prism moves in. He doesn't have mining time. Prism is going to be hunted down by that Viking. But he commits across the map, bleeding out a couple of Marines. Boys are being pulled, and this move out has to get some damage done here. There are some force fields. Does force with the main army, catches out some of the fire. Tank boys, they do initially target down those stalkers. Nice target firing out of Clem. Does target fire. But he's bled out too much. He's run out of bio. Backs off, he retreats, and MaxPax defends. Whew, okay, we have a game. We have a back and forth. MaxPax, he deflects the main army. We have drop play coming in from Clem. Clem about to take his 3rd TC, and as he takes a 3rd, MaxPax should take a 4th. And we'll see which 4th base he takes. The forward 4th, or on the left, or on the right. As Clem here to deny. He delays the 4th expansion. Cancels the pylon. Nice pickup. You see Clem securing himself here on 3 bases, covering the ramp. And MaxPax still trying to get that 4th base. Again, was delayed, now building up to Colossus production. Rounding out his army with some splash damage. Initially, Colossus, this can lead into Storm or into Disruptors. We'll see if MaxPax does head into another, or which kind of splash damage he does get into after Colossus. So we have a lull. A lull in our game. From here, Clem, he will soon be able to get a 4th CC. Once he gets a 4th base, he can take gases. He can go for his 2nd factory. Not yet, of course, but once he gets his 4th. Then 2nd factory, then in towards Liberator production, in towards the mid-game. Meanwhile, we have confirmation it is not going to be Storm, and MaxPax is going for Disruptors. So building up Disruptors, 2nd Robos on the way. There's that 4th CC for Clem. And after an intense game 1, we're slowing things down here in game 2. We're straight up just slowing things down. Both armies will max. They will be maxing out. MaxPax on full saturation here on 4 bases. He's on a comfortable 3 Colossus army. MaxPax, can he break this position? Now, the terrain here is a little bit awkward. There is a path into the natural, which is very narrow. I mean, there are Widow Mines set up. There are tanks covering it as well. Pushing towards the 3rd base. We spoke earlier about how exposed the 3rd is here, and we were referring to a bioaggression being successful. Goes both ways. MaxPax moving in. It's a very open 3rd. MaxPax, he flirts with the idea of pushing forward. He does rotate over towards the right-hand side. He will lose the disruptor though. Yeah, some missed movement there from MaxPax. Some missed pathing. Does throw away disruptor for free. Likewise, MaxPax, he does pull away, rotating around, looking for a better angle of attack. DTs get spotted. And MaxPax will see if he finds a way in. Tank volley's popping off. Fighting count looking very healthy. Ghost production has begun. Oh! Good Nova. But it does connect. Clem does take it to the face. Making more starports. Soon working towards the fusion core, in towards Liberator production. He's almost there. He's almost at the freedom. Oh. Likewise, the other one by does peel off into the mineral line. Nice spread there from God. Oh my god. Nova goes off. Takes down a Ghost. Ghost goes out, but he hunts down with the Colossus. Yeah, the Colossus, they go down one after the other. Massive pickoffs here as they'll get into the mineral line. 5 STV kills. That's not worth 3 Colossus though. As the Colossus count gets completely reset, a better fight for Clem. And Clem, he has momentum. You could argue now he has too many Vikings. He has 10. I mean, they can always land, true. Disruptor from behind. Okay, pulls back. The Disruptor's in the same control group, which is concerning to me. There's a pop off. Yet Disruptor goes down. Once again, a bit of mispathing there from MaxPax. Or from that one Disruptor. So you see Clem does rotate. Takes down the center expansion. MaxPax going for the Ninja Base though. Let's go. Takes bottom right. Celtic coming up from behind. And MaxPax, he attempts to set up a surround. Does attempt. Yeah, Nova's going to be coming in. The tanks, they should fall. Massive connections. Ooh, and Clem, he does get caught out. Yeah, the Novas pop off. Clem, he has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. And we spoke about it earlier. Here they come. Liberation. Liberation has arrived. You have Libs on the way. That will change the dynamic here of these ground fights. MaxPax, he has a decently healthy Stalker count. But he has to rely on on trying to outposition those Libs. As Clem is making 4 at a time. Clem getting forced back. That is a lot of disruptors. Nova's going to be going up in the mineral line. Nice splits. Very nice splits. Only 2 SCV kills. It wouldn't be the worst thing if Clem lost these Vikings. He does land them, and he does need to free up some supply. Once again, popping off. Here come those Liberators. Still run by is deflected. Clem, he has no idea about bottom right. They're basically getting saturated. Likewise, even being used to reinforce with more DTs. Oh my god. Novas, they are connecting. But we have to be careful not to be too trigger happy here. Nice splits. Yeah, DTs, they hit the expansion. Planetary forced to lift, or forced to be cancelled. But where are the disruptors? Where are the Novas? There's some left. There's one. Oh, Nova goes off. And Clemmy's on the chase. He's going to hunt this down. Takes down, what, 1, 2, 3 disruptors. Back at home, losing every single SCV, though. Those Star Templar, 20 SCV kills. 20 SCVs goes down. And Clemmy has a larger army, but his economy is in trouble here. The Invisible Man is too good. Now, Clem isn't exactly all in, but he takes a lot of losses down to 54 SCVs. If MaxPax didn't have bottom rights, then I'll say that Clem is in a decent position here, but MaxPax, he's still freely mining. He's on almost 90 workers, and he's been given time to rebuild his lost disruptors. ETs, they do hit the bases once again. MaxPax, he catches out both Metamax. Nice pick off. Takes down the Metamax. Forces Clem back. Oh, without those Metamax, the Marauders are all going to be going down, and Clem, he gets caught with his pants down. Massive loss here for Clem. And this may just be too much. And MaxPax catching him out. Novaze throwing away the army, going for the planetary. GG gets called, and MaxPax ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. We are going to the ace match here. Again, MaxPax just catching out Clem at the right moments. I mean, two big moments there for MaxPax. Of course, the DTs. The DTs, they did secure MaxPax's lead, getting 21 SCV kills. Likewise, we saw Clem overextending with his Marauders without any medevacs. Or I should say, the medevacs were sniped. They were sniped, so there was no support. Clem, of course, he was reinforcing with Liberators, no additional medevacs, and he lost everything out on the map. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to game 3, and we'll see how this story ends as we are loading into Sandworm. Here we go. What's happening in the chat? People used to say Juanito instead of special. I would say they currently say that even instead of special. But that's also because, like, special, he was notorious for just constantly, like, changing his name. In any series, this can go either way. I would say that there are some series that are more likely to go back and forth and go to the ace match more than others. Here we go, we're getting into game 3. What if Juan is still in Korea? I hope he is doing fine. Juanito, he went back to Mexico, like 2 years into COVID. Like, he was staying in Korea during COVID, but eventually he did have to leave. And I don't think he's been back since. So Juanito has been in Mexico since, like, I wanna, like, he made a post about it, but I wanna say like around like 2022 or 2023, like around then. Around then. I think I'm more comfortable saying 2022. But for now, we're jumping in. We're jumping into our ace match and spawning in the top right hand corner of Sandworm. We have our Danish Protoss player, our blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the red Terran. Ooh, opening up double gas this time. It is Clem. And welcome one and all to Sandworm, where we do have a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. And again, it's been great to see that players have been very accepting of this map. We've seen this quite a lot already tonight, and even in previous nights or even previous broadcasts, previous weeks, we've seen a lot of Sandworm here throughout the era of the TLMC 20 kind of like voting period. If you're in the chat, you better have voted, by the way. Better have voted for your maps. As MaxPax, he does confirm the double gas opener, is aware. And what does a double gas opener mean? That means delayed CC. Delayed CC, faster factory. This can lead into Banshee play. This can lead into Cyclones. You can see that, again, MaxPax, he was able to really thrive and really get into his stride in the last game, where it was just the most standard game state that we had, with MaxPax gaining map control early on, containing the Terran on 2 bases, containing them on 3 bases. Like, MaxPax was very comfortable in game 2, and this double gas opener tells us that Clem wants to take that away from MaxPax. He wants to take that away. He wants momentum early on instead. Clem wants to be the initial aggressor, not MaxPax. And we'll see if he can gain and maintain that momentum. See if Clem can pull that off. Here we go. And meanwhile, back at home, we were curious what was going to be done here with the initial aggressive start, Reactor Reaper Hellion. So it's going to be Reactor Reaper Hellion here out of Clem to gain map control. We'll see if he continues into additional Reaper production after this. Hunts down the initial Adept. Okay, just two Reapers, so I should say three Reapers, 2 Hellions. With this, going for the Starport follow-up, checking the vision, MaxPax, he is not fully rare. He saw the CC on the high ground, but didn't quite confirm that Starport. Are we going for the add-on swap? Are we going for a medevac with a tank drop, or into Banshee? Cyclone's on the way. We'll keep an eye out for that medevac. Yep, there it is. Medevac's on the way. He's going for the drop. Going for the drop across the map. Clem pokes in, gets the Adept, nice snipe. Heads further back into the main, and it is going to be a Twilight Council opener into Blink from MaxPax. Clem has yet to confirm, but it's MaxPax. There's a higher chance it's going to be happening. Reapers are shut down, and MaxPax, he will defend the natural. So it does fully wall off. It does defend. Clem is going to be forced back. And there it is, tank drop. So hyper aggression here from Clem. Is moving out, reinforcing with the tank. If this was a more standard follow, we would have seen a tech lab here into like Raven harass early on. But Clemmy continues. Does boost in. Oh, meanwhile, MaxPax, he's locked out of his own natural. Had to kill his pylon. MaxPax does get supply blocked. More pylons on the way. Probes are going to be targeted. Oh, and this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. It's going to be, what, 4 probe kills so far. Does 9 mining time, and Clem, he gets away. Does get away. Very nice drop here by Clem. Back at home, he's building up his tanks. And MaxPax, as he attempts to catch the medevac, doesn't quite catch it here. Doesn't quite find it. As Clem does get away, does pull back home. Now, Clem is getting ready. Oh, okay, he's getting ready for his 3-rack setup. We do have the eBay on the way here behind this, getting to +1. Now, Clem, he has dealt some economic damage and he's not stopping. He's going for another drop. Moving out for another drop. Clem, he is ready here for the Stalker harass. And we're waiting to see if Clem throws down extra axes or not. Like, Sandworm is a smaller map, so we could see even more aggression. For now, Stalkers, they dive into the main. Tank is in position. Massive shot's going to be going off. It's 2 SCVs. It's 2 SCV kills. Clem's still moving in. Does hit the main. Does hit the main base once again, getting another 4 probe kills. This time with Blink, and MaxPax should be able to defend. The medevac does escape, but I can't say the same for everything else. As Clemmy does focus on another probe and 1 more Stalker. Pulls out. He was able to get a full scout, confirms that Colossus are on the way. And Clem is expanding. He does not throw down 2 more Raxes. He throws down a CC. Clem is getting into the mid game. But you can already see like the stark difference here. Because of all this drop play, Clem, he has been able to get some counter damage and he's been able to force reinforcements back home, as opposed to game 2 where MaxPax, he was being more assertive here, diving in between the bases, getting SCV kills time and time again. This game he only got 2 SCVs, so we've seen a very different kind of dynamic between MaxPax and Clem here in the ace match. I would say a stronger start for Clem compared to the last game. I mean in general here. Has been a stronger start, moving out with another double drop. This time MaxPax, he will not spot this. He was somewhat in position, but barely does not get eyes on the drop. Clem, he's hunting for the Stalkers. Does them in. He gets 1. Ooh, bleeds out a medevac. Better trade for MaxPax. It's just a little bit more messy here from Clem. Catches out another Stalker. Not quite. Just the initial 2. Now, as Clem moves out, MaxPax ready for his own backstab. Prism is in position. 3rd base not being taken. And this is what MaxPax can punish. You know, once Clem does decide to push across the map, that's the moment where MaxPax can move in. Can move in. Ooh, as I say that, Vikings are in position as well. MaxPax has to be so careful. Again, ideally, MaxPax doesn't want to move in until he sees Clem push out. Ah, he goes in too soon. Yeah, it goes in too soon. It's going to be deflected. Oof, losing the prism. Massive pickoff. And now there's nothing keeping Clem back. Nothing keeping him home. He can move out. Rotating towards the left. Interesting. Will on siege scans. He's looking for the fourth. Looking for the expansion. MaxPax took the base on the right. Clem pushing down mid. A bit of an awkward engage here. So rotate back around. Bleeding out Widow Mines. Oh! MaxPax he gets one. Stellar Runby runs into the bunker. Tank is going to get picked up. Nice pick up there by MaxPax. Clem getting caught off guard. And geez, you can see the supply disparity here between Clem and MaxPax. Again, a lot of that is because of the economic damage. Like this game, Clem just had so much more momentum. MaxPax trying to keep up. He has potential with those disruptors, true. Does have potential. He can pop off. But really, MaxPax has to rely on those disruptors. Clem is moving in. Behind this, there is no fourth CC, so Clem is quite committed. He hasn't thrown down an expansion yet. So he has to break through. Never goes off. Oh no! Ooh, he does not split. Takes it to the face. Ooh, that was brutal. That was brutal. That was an over that Max actually was hoping for. Clem's still trying to push through. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better Nova. That was crazy. That was... like, Clem, he's known for taking storms completely to the face and just standing in the full duration. But that was insane. Oh my god. Nova pops off. 4th CC on the way. This tells us that Clem, he has now accepted he won't kill MaxPax. He's not going to kill him. Or he won't be able to. So 4th CC to build up towards a longer game state. Now 1 Nova is sometimes all it takes. Clem, he will deny the 5th. Not bad. MaxPax sneaking out the ninja base. He threw down this Nexus before the 5th. So very cheeky so far. He's getting away with it. Yeah, Clem, he backs up. Clem, he should deny this expansion, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's been taken. Thankfully, they're setting up a drop towards the main, and he will come across the expansion. Now he knows. Instantly rotates. Instantly pulls back. And this time, well, wait. This time, Clem, he will punish. Expansion's going to go down. Ooh, and now MaxPax, he's stuck on 3 bases. He needs a 4th. Just lost his 4th and his 5th base. MaxPax taking bottom right. No shot. There's no taking this base. It's a bold move, but Clem, he's going to check. He's going to check. He will confirm. There's no saving this. And this is all that Clem needs to do, is deny the 4th. Deny the 4th base over and over and over again. That is Clem's win condition, as Clem is maxed. And this time Clem pulls away. This time he pulls away. Takes down a Colossus. And this time Clem is a little bit more attentive to his army. Stims on in. Denies the expansion. Does deny the expansion. Likewise moving forward. Oh! Actually, Marauder's not bad. Marauders, they get caught by the Novas. That's a lot of disruptors. That's a lot of Novas. Oh my god. Once again, connects with the tank, brings it down. Meanwhile, Clem dropping into the main. Oh, using SimCity against MaxPax here. There are Colossus. Colossus does rotate throughout all this. Clem, he took his 4th base, now throwing down additional CCs, getting a 5th. And Clem is getting out of hand. He's getting out of control here. He has map control, he has more bases, more economy. Something that the Protoss should have instead. Now, there is always potential when it comes to head-on fights. Because there are so many disruptors, it means that MaxPax can still win head-on. But he's pretty all-in, is what I will say. Like, MaxPax, he has to win a fight and go from there. As MaxPax doesn't really have much longevity in this game. He's just now trying to retake that 4th. So let's catch out to those Metamax. Nice snipe there from MaxPax. Just on the drop. You can see Clem, whenever he rotates, disruptors, they're waiting for him. He just can't do anything. Cannot push into the disruptors, and he does miss that 4th base. He checks bottom right. Doesn't check the triangular 3rd. He's about to. He spots it. That's spot the expansion. Now he knows where to focus his attention. Notice he's taking his gold. Meanwhile, he's been taking up. We have 3-3 on the way. We have the Fusion Core for Advanced Ballistics. Clem is getting into his Liberators. Ice Sims in. Where are the Disruptors? Disruptors out of position. Yeah, without Disruptors, the main army denies the expansion. MaxPax not where he needs to be. He missed the rotation. You can see the Disruptors, they do a great job at zoning away the army, but they have to be ready for it. They have to be ready for the army. MaxPax is trying to keep up with the rotations. Gee, how many does he have? 11! 11 Disruptors! Ay, ay, ay. Knocks down the rocks. Takes that 4th base behind this. So far, we're moving in. Oh my god, that's a lot of freedom. It's a lot of freedom zones here. Zoning back the army. Again, MaxPax, he has gained map control. Forcing Clem back. Again, MaxPax, he's maxed out. He was struggling to do so. But again, because that high disruptor gun, he can take these fights. With the freedom zones, they say something else. Yeah, Liberation gets thrown down. Oh, decent Novas. Yeah, Novas are connecting. MaxPax, he has to pull away. He has to pull out. As Liberators, they do keep sieging him, but they just force him further back. And now he starts bleeding out the Disruptors. Yeah, Disruptors, they start to fall. Bleeds out 2 of them. Archons as well. And normally this would be okay, but normally MaxPax would have an economy, would have a bank. Here you can see how oversaturated he is. He can't really afford these losses. It takes too long to rebuild because of the economic game state. Like, this all comes down to the economy. It all comes down to how late the 4th was. Double scan reveals the 4th and the 5th. And this is why MaxPax plummets in supply and why the supply doesn't catch back up. Like, MaxPax, he just has no minerals. He has no money. He's heavily oversaturated. The worker count doesn't really tell the story. Ooh, Novas go off, massive, oh my god, takes Novas to the face, but GG gets called. Clem here overwhelms, and Clem will take the series at 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Clem, he will claim the series, he will advance on to the grand finals. Congratulations. Shout out to MaxPax, because MaxPax did force the ace match. It is not easy to go to the ace match here against Clem, and MaxPax did look very, very comfortable in game 2, and I'm pretty sure that did lead into the build of choice from Clem here in game number 3. Just to emphasize once again, Clem, he was much more successful early on with drop play. He killed, I want to say, like 9+ workers early on. He was able to, more importantly, keep warp-ins back at home, keep reinforcements back at home, and keep MaxPax pinned, being more defensive, as opposed to the more active style that he usually enjoys, that we saw in Game 2. Like, you can see the stark contrast between Game 2 and Game 3, between MaxPax's style and how he was able to play out the game. So you can see those differences. Regardless, GG well played, congratulations, Clem, who will advance on, and up next we have the grand finals here. It's going to be a best of 5 between Clem and Skilless. Let's go, it's going to be a team kill, let's go. The Team Liquid boys are going to be facing off once again.